All right, so let's get a little closer look because I don't know what kind of blemishes and things that might stand out from that distance. But what we're going to do, we're going to point out some things. We had some feedback about the six position presentation we did the other day, which was on a pre-owned car, but a very nicely taken care of and refurbished pre-owned certified Audi late model car. So that's not every man's car that they represent or sell, and I get that, or every salesperson. So here's a different take based on the request of how do you handle cars that are like $8,000 cars. Well, here's an exact $8,000 car. My man Chris and I, we've come out to a used car lot. I was going to say gravel lot, but it's got pavement. But the essential old school gravel lot, buy here, pay here kind of a used car area. And we grabbed a Honda Civic. And at first, I think it was misrepped by him to us, maybe mistakenly taking a shot to see where we were mentally. Chris, would you say that might be a possibility? So we started looking at an Infiniti G35, and it had some smudges in the bumper and high miles. I think it said 135,000 miles on it. It was a '08. All right, so a little older, and Chris played the part of, hey, I want that car. And I said, Chris is my son, and we're looking for a car. He graduated high school, which he did. So it played out pretty well. Everything, ironically, on the lot, I think, is about an $8,000 car. Everything on the lot, for sure, starts with, oh, it's 100,000 something miles on it. All right, so let's just start from there. I don't know if this is going to pick up in the video or not, so we're going to talk about what may or may not appear either prior to this part of the conversation or just after. But the guy himself had a pair of flip-flops, right? A green toenail, a pair of cut-off shorts. I mean, I got shorts on. I get it. Maybe this is the most professional look, but it's 100% humidity and 90 degrees in the DMV right now. And guess what? I work for myself, so I'm playing the customer, but I'm really playing to my own needs of being cooler than hotter. But we pulled it off. We got the car off the lot, and we want to do this walk-around presentation again for those people who say, yeah, but that's a nicer car. It's got factory warranty and all these other things. This, so we can be very, very clear, has as is no dealer warranty checked. As is everything else on his lot. As is no warranty whatsoever. That's fine. But again, buyer beware. Okay, so let's talk about six-position demonstration about cars with blemishes, miles, imperfection, all those things. That's something to overcome. I get it for the buyer, but keep in mind, understand the tone of the marketplace you represent. You don't have people looking for brand new cars on your lot. So if they're allowing themselves to be led down a path of, well, this has got a dent, well, what about that scratch? Guess what? They're pre-owned cars of a certain nature, a certain mileage, a certain year, in a certain condition. If you're apologizing for what you're representing, then change what you represent. Or adapt to the climate that you've gotten into business with, meaning the $8,000 car, 100,000 miles, and no warranty. Own that, love that, and just do it a little differently, because I promise you the competition in that marketplace is no competition. Unless you get a green toenail, cut off shorts, and bad information. And then you guys are competing on the same level. Other than that, just be better than that person. And there's a lot of that person out there running around, especially in markets like the DMV, Baltimore, Philly, Newark, New York, those areas. You see this everywhere. So let's go back to the original task, which was going to do a six-position demonstration of a vehicle. This is of a certain age, a certain mileage, and a certain price range. And this is what I would do to overcome certain things. Maybe that feature benefit value selling takes a different tone. Obviously, I want to talk about things that's on the car. It does have a breakaway mirror. Now, nowhere near as nice as that newer version Audi we showed the other day, but it still has the mirror. Why not demonstrate it? Again, we're assuming because people are spending a certain amount of money, meaning less than $10,000 in that price point, that type of car, that type of mileage, that it doesn't deserve the same kind of, glamorous walk-around presentation. Drum it up, dial it up, doctor it up, and sell it. Sell on that mirror. Now, here's something I wouldn't do. If I was the guy representing the car or putting it on sale on my lot, or if I had any say-so with the independent owner of this lot, I would sit there and definitely recommend for $80 or $75 getting a round of hubcaps and replacing it. Again, fit, finish, and appearance is going to be key. While I'm doing that, I spray paint the wheels, the steel wheels. Get them all cleaned up, man. Take a look at that, Chris. Get this stuff out of here. You have to overcome things because you're not willing to do certain things. Spray paint. How much is a can of spray paint? Come on, guys. I'm not saying you're shipping it to a body shop and re-chroming a wheel. I'm saying take the wheel off and spray paint it. Basic stuff, perception. It's like saying, well, it's putting a silk hat on a pig. You're spray paint wheels and new hubcaps on a car with 100-some thousand miles on it. Okay. But you're talking about how do you overcome certain things and presenting a vehicle, invest a little bit. I'm talking maybe, what's a can of spray paint, Chris? Under 10 bucks, right? Set of hubcaps, all four, under 100. I'm saying $110 could change the face of this car and the perception of what you cared about maintaining or making it ready for sale. $110 investment on a feature benefit value or curb appeal presentation. just interpretation of what you're actually pulling on a lot to see, you express a lot about what this represents. You as that dealer or you as that salesperson repping this car, that explains a lot to me about why I should negotiate a price. Or if you had brand new hubcaps, no blemishes, no cracks, no scrapes. If you had those wheels painted, and I would understand why, because it's a certain car, certain mileage, certain price point, I would understand as a consumer, but I'd also see that you cared enough to do something about it, to make it more presentable for me as a buyer. So again, let's not get twisted about feature benefit value on that car versus this kind of a car. It's a different customer, different clientele. You've got to rep the car differently. I'm not saying not represent it about tire tread design, wheels, and why they have air ventilation to help cool the braking surfaces system and make it a surer, safer braking surface. I'm not saying don't touch on that. I'm saying but don't apologize why things are the way they are unless you guys just don't care about fixing small things for that public perception. Again, as is no warranty, rusted out wheels, scraped up wheel covers. I'm not saying give me a warranty, but explain a little bit more other than the tattoo of as is no warranty. That scares people. You want me to par with $8,000. Hold on, I got stacks. You want me to par with, well, not stacks. You want me to par with like layers of this stuff for this stuff with no backing. You don't have a manufacturer supported sign on your building, okay? It doesn't say Nissan, Toyota, Honda. It doesn't say any of that stuff. It doesn't say Honda. This is a Honda. You're telling me, oh, by the way, it's got no warranty whatsoever. Oh, by the way, I won't do anything about the wheels, even spray painting them black. Oh, by the way, the hubcaps are just good enough for me. It wasn't a safety item for state inspection, therefore, it's like you're repping this like a slumlord rents out an apartment, right? You're selling Section 8 cars, just enough to get past inspection. So again, repping a car or having a presentation built around repping cars like this is stop repping cars like this. Chris, is that clear? I don't know that, I mean, am I mixing it up here? Okay, so this is right on the money. State inspected is great. It's an every year inspection. We're going to do 2 demonstrations on my car, my SUV, my wife's car, the Armada, and then my Maxima. I got them both state inspected yesterday. They all have a red sticker. That's what's new for 21. This one's a June 21 sticker. It passed state inspection. I get all that because it had just enough tire tread, just enough brake pad, just because it's the turn signals worked for that day and passed, which we haven't tried that yet, and I'm not a state inspector, nor do I care. I'm just saying that it made it through an inspection station in the state of Virginia. What if it was in Maryland? Chris, would this pass in Maryland? Hell no. Maryland's a one-time shot, baby. They're going after all that. They want you to make it brand new if you're going to rep it right and rep it and put it for sale. And there's no such thing as is. You're going to have some sort of an as is, at least minimum 50-50 warranty for 30 days, right? At least 1,000 miles, 50-50 on a 30-day warranty. You're going to have to do something to rep that car a little bit, right? So again, let's get past all that. I think I've thrown enough darts at why the car is the way it is and why people don't rep cars at this mileage range or how they do a 6-position demonstration at this mileage range and price point. Well, it's because you don't have much to go off of. You may be the best salesperson out there and can sell this to anybody, but if this car isn't taken care of properly and nobody's looking at it from the right set of eyes, meaning you don't care about it to rep it the right way or put it out for sale the right way, how can you actually sell it to me now? I don't want to buy that. I'm looking to throw darts at you for price points and getting a better deal. All that being said, I would still do the same things because it is a Honda, first and foremost. I would go after the Honda namesake, the name brand. I'm representing a Honda here, folks. Quite frankly, you can't buy a Honda that's bad. It may not be the best car, it may not be the newest of cars, it may have 100-some thousand miles, but quite frankly, that's just getting broken in on a Honda. That's like the first year of ownership for a Honda. These things will go 1 million miles in mileage as far as life and expectancy if you take care of proper maintenance. Quite frankly, the car is not a bad looking car on the inside of the vehicle either, so I would actually be proud to show a 100,000 mile vehicle, and it's a what year, 13? 7+ years old, 100,000 miles. Most cars have a bad interior, especially with a light interior like this. It's like a light beige, medium beige brown. Stains, fading, torn, or tears in the material, just in and out, kind of wear and tear. That would be very obvious, very evident. And if you didn't do the hubcaps and didn't do the wheels, you certainly wouldn't have fixed the interior. So I think personally, I think it's been taken care of pretty well. The paint looks like it's in good condition. We have not run a Carfax yet. We're going to do that. Not that it matters in this feature benefit value presentation, but I would point out that based on the blemishes, and you see small dents right here, and one would zero in on that. And again, I don't have my bifocals on, but that looks like and feels like rust, right? So there's rock chips on the car and everything else, no touch-up paint. I would sell people, again, on having the blemishes on there, it's okay. It's a worn car. This is why the price point on a Honda like this is under 10,000 miles for a four-door Civic. It's a Civic, okay? It should be a certain price point. Based on mileage, current condition, the fact that we didn't put a lot of money into it for cosmetic purposes shows why the price points are. However, tubes of touch-up paint are $5. You can get them color matched at a Honda dealership down the street and touch it up as you go. We're not going to sit there and blend this in because they don't want to look right with the rest of the car. It would be an improper touch-up. It would never look right. So there I'll be apologizing for a two-tone paint job. But again, we want to keep the price point under $10,000 and bring a good quality car like a Honda to you. So this is why we've left it the way it is, and therefore why we did not do anything about the hubcaps and or spray painting those wheels. However, for the cost of the equipment itself, like the spray paint can and the wheel covers, and a little bit of money for the labor as far as getting the wheels off and spraying them and putting them back on, mounting and balancing them again, we could charge you a small fee to do all that and cover it, and then therefore you'd have new hubcaps and a better looking wheel. That's up to you as an option. We don't want to invest the money and then go over a price point where it wasn't as marketable as it should be. Again, the breakaway mirrors, which we do like as far as those designs, as far as folding out and in, that's a safety feature as far as having any damage to the vehicle, body side or just repair-wise, paint work. Again, rain wells just like those newer cars. So again, you talked about the newer car versus this car. Think about it for 1 second. And on a 2019 Audi, and I don't know what the price point was on that, $30-some thousand, it's got the same feature benefit value as the Audi right now. 100,000 miles, under $10,000. It is a Honda. It's got the rain wells. It's got the air ventilator for the braking system. It's got the tire tread that's going to divert that debris from underneath the vehicle for a better, safer, surer ride and better fuel economy because more rubber on the road. It's got breakaway mirrors. It's got side impact door beams. It's got factory window tinted glass like I mentioned before. It's got a UV protection on there. Maybe not as dark as you want it to be, but it's on there. Extra glass, what we call that? Blind spot monitors, right, Chris? Look over your shoulder, man, and merge. Blind spot monitors at its best. Look how big this door opening is. Look at where the headroom is. This headrest is behind the glasses, behind this door. This is a mid-sized car, not a compact car. I'm 6 foot, well, 5'11", I lie a little bit, but I'm 6 foot tall. I can fit in this car and be okay. My headroom's back here. This door entry is right here. The seats here, I got plenty of space to get in and out, okay? So for larger people, taller people, a little bit more stout in the weight size, you can get in and out of this vehicle and be comfortable. I can talk about all these things. Remember that flush mounted gas cap on the Audi? Got one here, okay? Bumpers, same thing, 5 mile per hour crash test bumpers. Composite plastic, low, easy entry area for your trunk to get packages in and out, lift with your knees. You're no longer lifting up and over like before, okay? Did you get a shot of my calves there, Chris?
Oh yeah.
I got nice legs, baby.
Yeah.
So you can do feature benefit value on this car. Again, having confidence in what you're selling and representing is going to be the key. If you're not confident or happy about what you're selling, if you say, hey, I got a customer on the phone, they're on their way in, oh, by the way, they're actually here looking at the Honda, and your first reaction is, oh, the Honda. Hey, did we do anything with the wheels yet? No. Chris, give me the keys to the Honda. We couldn't find the keys to the Q or to the G, right?
Yeah.
With three sets of keys, none of them work. None of them said Infiniti. First of all, I don't want to stand in his way. They say Nissan. All right, because I know too much. Then we're like, all of a sudden we're undercover and we exposed.
Yeah, right.
So I just kept out of my, as they say, I stayed in my lane. So he brought out 3 Nissan keys, none of them worked. Yeah, kind of, no kidding. So we say, hey, how about the Honda? So this is where we're at. Now you come around here, we talked about that composite plastic at the bottom on the rocker panels. It's here. This one's actually got that gummy finish. Can you get a look at this, Chris? You'll see it'll be like almost like an orange peel look to it.
Yeah.
You have to get probably maybe underneath it a little bit, unless you got it.
I got it right there.
All right, and if not, guys, just check it out. I mean, what I'm telling you is factual information. Just check it out in the cars you represent. Color key door handles. Remember we saw that on that Audi, that very expensive Audi? Honda Civic, 100-some thousand miles, under $10,000. Color key door handles, and they actually look pretty good. They stood up pretty well. You can see what I mentioned, though, before about the paint and the rings and things like that. You can see the scrapes here. They look like ring marks, right? Get a shot of that just so they can see those blemishes. Those are the things that you worry about as far as, well, it's got scrapes and scratches. Okay, it's also under 10,000 miles. It's a 4-door and one of the number one, or arguably the number one sold car in the world. Honda Civic. For a little bit of paint scratches and some blemishes, the price point and what you get in the car, forget those scratches. Again, tube of touch-up paint, $5, Honda store down the street, color match to the car. You do it as far as you want to. Fix it up all you want. This is no different than the car we were pointing out before, and this is all I'm trying to get to a roundabout way of saying, if you're not proud of what you represent, to have the conversation with who your partners are about how you represent your cars, or get a better sales pitch on why they are the way they are. I'm not apologizing for this car. That's not what my job is right here. This is not an apology for this car. I'm just stating the facts. It's a Honda Civic, price point, reliable, lasts forever if you take care of just basic, maintenance, oil changes, tire rotations, normal things. Maybe a radiator flush here or there, engine flush. If you don't take care of stuff, that's when the mechanical parts of those things break down. People are not buying because of the cosmetics. They're buying because of functionality. Now, some people like curb appeal and they don't want to drive around a piece of crap, or as one guy said, a shit box. I get it, man. If you're repping shit boxes, it is what it is. The customers are buying a shit box. Isn't too concerned about the feature benefit value selling position. They're just worried about, will you take payments per week? Will you finance me? That's what they're worried about. They're not worried about the shit box part. And if you allow them to make it about, oh, that's a shit box, well, listen, change the name on the building. So everybody's clear. It's called shitbox motors, right? Or rep the car the right way and not apologize for it. I did this because, or I didn't do this because. Be proud about it. Be confident in it. But make sure you understand where the keys are for the car, which we just experienced. Like we said, that G had G Infinity tag, and the key chain or the key fob would say Infinity on it. We had 3 different Nissan keys come out. If you don't know how to get the right key out of the box to sell the customer the car that they actually asked or inquired about, how are they supposed to buy it? You're not apologizing. You're just not in the know. You're not like, it's not registering up here. We used to do walk-arounds all the time. My man Chris and I, we walked a lot every day just to see what we had in inventory, what came out of service, what was in detail. Hey, did we sell that last night? Did that car make it through the service department? Did we Maryland State inspect it? Is it ready to go? Any concerns? Right? I mean, these were conversation pieces. This is communication. If your managers or your store team leader, whoever that may be, is a leaderless leader, then you got problems. Bigger problems than what the car is. I'm telling you that much. So stick with me. I know this may not be the exact video you were looking for on feature, benefit, value selling on a pre-owned car of a certain mileage, certain price point. It's the same philosophy. It's all about how you present. It's all about your confidence level. If you have some or you don't, I get it. It's not for everybody. I get it. Maybe you have a different clientele that I'm just not used to. I just pretended to be that clientele, to buy here, pay here a lot, with everything starts with just over 100,000 mile taglines, no warranties, you know, all as is stuff. I can't get any more clear, but again, I wouldn't pick this car apart to the point where I couldn't sell it myself. I'd pick it apart and build a feature benefit value selling system around its blemishes, around its flaws, and then it would be a different sale. You wouldn't have to worry about, oh, well, look at the rims. I'd point it out to you. I'm going to bring it to you. It's like when your neighbor Ted, because they're saying, hey, you know, your wife Janice is cheating on you. Yeah, I know, with Phil. You're not bringing me new news. I already know, right? Is that clear? That point? My wife's name's not Janice, and she ain't cheating with Phil. Anyways, I think I've made my point. Hopefully it's clear enough. If there's more information you need about how to do this, again, make a cheat sheet. Get an index card. I know it's old school and we don't write anymore because everything's a notepad in the phone and technology and all that stuff. I'm a learner by doing, okay? I write things down, misspelled words and all, as we've seen in my videos. I write things down, though, that way it's practice makes perfect. The more I'm engaged with writing stuff down, my memory absorbs all that, right? And the more I see that and make it in a language I understand. So it might be a different technical term for the equipment on the car, but I make it in my language, but I know what I'm talking about when I see it. I can translate that to a customer and make it an extremely just fun, inviting, informative 6-position walk around. Will I sell them that car? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe it just isn't the car for them, because it does ride like shit. I hit the gas pedal, it was like riding in a rickshaw with a guy that can't pedal right? Just that stutter step in the pedaling part of it. So we're going to take this car back and say, hey, listen, there's some things with it we don't like. We're going to keep looking around. Thanks a lot. I hope this found some information as far as like helpfulness to it. I hope it gives you a different spin or perspective on how to present a car like this based on mileage, money, and so on. Again, they are what they are. If you don't like what you're representing, change the location you work at or change the inventory that you supply yourself with. If you're not the buyer for the company, express your concerns and or ask them for helpful hints in ways of just overcoming certain things. Or stick and stay tuned to my stuff and or subscribe to chrisktaylor.com, which is going live on the 5th of August. And we'll teach you how to do this from the ground up. Okay, 31 years plus experience, expert in the field. I know what I'm talking about. I may not spell well, and my math gets a little confusing at times, but I try to keep it as simple as possible. This is not overdone. This is not overstated. This is exactly how it is. Just factual data, transparency, and just being truthful and own it. And we're proud about what we represent when we sell stuff, so you should be the same thing too. And if you're not, get out of the business or get out of the store. Either or. Have a great weekend. Peace and love. Peace and love. Happy August.